Athletic Techniques: Utilizing Technology to Improve Athletic Performance by yours truly, Nathan Paz. So basically, guys, I just hope that through this presentation, I can exemplify the role that technology plays in athletics. With this presentation, I hope to elaborate on the many different facets of athletes and how through the use of technology and training, they may excel and tap their full potential. The breakdown of how this is going to go, or how I'd like to go about this, is bringing up these different types of technology and how they apply to an athlete on different levels as an athlete, and in the end tie it into what we've learned throughout the year, rethinking education through Collins and Halverson. The different tool types vary in a sense that we're looking at an athlete on a biological level, such as fuel and intake and what they're actually imbibing, and how it affects the output of what they're doing, the technique of what they do, and is also how they do with their team as a whole, or even in an individual sport. So the first method of technology involves utilizing technology coupled with eating habits and understanding how athletes' diets play an important role in their performance. While this may sound like common sense, through these uses of technology, we're able to understand an athlete's body needs on a nutritional level. So for instance, where a jogger may need many more carbohydrates so that they can keep running and burn energy at a slower pace, a sumo wrestler may need a completely different diet to keep their body mass and to be able to perform in the way they need for their sport specifically. And what this does for athletes is that it gives them an understanding of what their body needs for their sport specifically. While many sports may have overlap of what an athlete actually needs, this can pinpoint exactly what will be best and most beneficial for the athlete and their performance. Another form of technology that understands, or that allows us to understand whether we're working hard or hardly working, is technology that measures output, like what we're doing, what muscles we're utilizing most, how much energy we're actually putting forth when we do exercises and whatnot. And so what it does is it allows athletes of different body types, biological structures, and things of that sort to optimize their ability to perform by understanding what their body's limitations are or how they're exerting energy. And this, in the end, is going to allow the athletes to better compete at whatever sport it is, because it is allowing them to work smarter rather than harder. It is creating and utilizing efficiency during training regimens, or even when you're out on the field, kind of utilizing stamina and not burning yourself out so quickly. So that's one of the biggest ways that this form of technology assists athletes. And now the athlete's whetstone are forms of technology in a sense that they help with technique and an athlete's finesse, really showing an athlete through the use of video recording what they may be doing right or wrong, and being able to analyze these things so that they may understand how to better perform. For instance, if we look at this image down here, we see a player in a freeze frame with the different angles, and by showing them these things and what they need to do in order to optimize their chances at success, they can take it in and then take it to practice, create different practicing methods in order for them to improve, because as we know, the little adjustments mean the biggest improvements in sports. You know, whether it's a hitch in someone's swing that can be easily corrected by just lifting your hands, or whether it's trying to reduce drag when you're ice skating. These are the little things that, when corrected by coaches or caught on by this type of technology, they can be corrected and allow an athlete to function at the best they possibly can. Knowing thyself and to know thy opponent, basically this technology is so that you can observe both yourself and how you perform, as well as your opponents. How boxers might watch film on another boxer and understand his moves and what his go-tos are, or even football or basketball, where you can understand certain plays that other teams may run, or how they may respond to your form of playing, or how you can see the things that you need to improve on that they are capitalizing on. There's so much that you can possibly do and understand through mapping out how they move and how they function. For instance, David Barata was a batter in one instance, and the information gathered by the technology used allowed the pitcher and catcher to formulate a strategy before the game, and ultimately helped to win the game. And it's not always the case, but it's always better to know your opponent and where their weaknesses and their strengths are, as well as your own. And to tie it into what we've learned throughout the semester is the school of thought of just doing it. Because in the book by Halverson and Collins, it's apparent that immersing yourself in the technology is one of the most important things to do, because people have a tendency to stray away from it because they don't realize what can actually come of it, the benefits rather. But more than that is just being able to reflect, not just using the technology to use it, but to also reflect on what it is and how you're performing and how to utilize it to the best of your ability so that you can better yourself. And the last school of thought is just, it's the old school mindset versus the new school mindset. And it's, there's a lot of things that are done in the old school methods that can be utilized at the new school, but by utilizing technology, we can optimize what it is that we're trying to do as athletes to give our best performances day in and day out. And so basically, to wrap it up, I hope I did a good enough job of taking on the different forms of technology and how they help athletes perform better, but from a biological level, from the inside out, and how they may work with the team also to work as a unit. Like I said, I hope I did a good job, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and here in a sec, I'll probably open things up for questions. Thank you so much.